All right, here's my audience of 3.
No matter who you are, everyone has someone that they look up to as a kid and idolize and want to be like. And for me, that was Anthony Edwards. Ever since the Minnesota Timberwolves took him with the number 1 pick in the NBA draft back in 2020, I just knew there was something special about him and he was going to be different for my favorite team. Today, I'll teach you a little bit about how Anthony overcame some struggles in his childhood, growing up in a rough household in a rough area, how he stayed loyal to his home state when he was a top prospect and had offers from everywhere in the country. He had his choice and he was going to be on scholarship wherever he went. And then I'll teach you about how he led the Timberwolves to their best season in franchise history, all while being below 25 years old. So with that being said, I'll get into it. Ant grew up in Oakland City, which is a suburb of southern Atlanta. It's not a great neighborhood, but it's not terrible, but certainly not luxury. He was raised by his mother till he was 14 because his dad was absent from his life. And then when he was 14, his mother and his grandmother, within a few months, passed from cancer. So he was forced to live on his own. And he transferred to Holy Spirit Prep School to help get back on track and focus on his academics after the tragedy, as well as to focus on basketball. And then at Holy Spirit, he was a consensus 5-star prospect, which means he was top 25 in the country in his class, and even 1 or 2 sources has him as the number 1 player in the country. So he had held scholarships from North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas, all the big basketball colleges that you can think of. But despite all these offers and all these temptations to go all over the country, he decided to be loyal and stay home in Georgia and play for the Bulldogs, where he led them to a great season in his 1 season there. And he averaged the most points per game as a freshman in the country. And clearly after that season, he didn't need another year of college, and he declared for the NBA draft, where he was taken number 1 by my Minnesota Timberwolves. Ant had a great start to his career. He averaged 19 points a game in his rookie year, and unfortunately he was snubbed for the Rookie of the Year award, which I think he should have won. But being taken number 1 overall, that means he wasn't on a great team, so he wasn't surrounded by talent, which means that the team wasn't very good. And he definitely could have left and could have went closer to home or went to a better team after his rookie contract was up, but he decided to stay and persevere. And that paid off because the Timberwolves got better and better every year and put pieces around him. And eventually he led them to the Western Conference Finals and their best season in franchise history. And then today they're having an even better year this year, and they could possibly make the finals. And he was also a leader on the gold medal Olympic team last year, and he's doing all that by just being 23 years old. So there's clearly a lot more in store for him. I'm very excited to keep watching him, and I think he's going to be one of the best players ever, and he's also one of the best role models that I have to look up to. So I told you about how Anthony overcame struggles in his childhood, from loss to not being in a great living situation, and then he stayed loyal, and that's something that he showed throughout his whole career. Stayed loyal to his home state and played for Georgia, and then he eventually led the Timberwolves to their best season ever, and he is going to keep continuing to do that for many years. So I hope what you learned about Anthony today helped show you his good qualities and maybe made you like him a little bit more, just like I do. Thank you.
Nice.